Namaskar and welcome to Apollo 24/7's Health Hour. Health Hour is a show that is devised from Apollo 24/7 to give you information and to bring awareness on our health. Today's Health Hour, we are going to meet an expert of liver diseases who is a consultant hepatologist from Bangalore, Dr. Sandeep Satsangi, who will brief us on how to keep our liver healthy. As we introduce a doctor and we welcome him on the show, I want to tell you that Apollo has been transforming lives. 36, 35 years ago, when the chairman of Apollo Group has envisioned that healthcare should reach everybody, technology should reach everybody, he wanted this vision to transform the India's healthscape. And here we are again, transforming India's health once again. So I welcome you all to Apollo 24/7's Health Hour, where we bring Apollo's expertise on this show. And Apollo's 24/7 app is again transforming the healthcare, where you can consult doctors in 15 minutes. You can get your express medicine deliveries in less than 2 hours. And also, you have diagnostics, lab reports, everything in your mobile phone. Apollo 24/7 is an app which brings the entire Apollo group into your mobile phone. Please download Apollo 24/7 and you can get the best benefits. You can download it. You can download it from the Apple Store or Android mobiles ke liye bhi hai, and you can give a missed call on the number which is on the screen and you can download the app. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward, let's talk about liver today. Let's expert hepatologist Dr. Sandeep Satsangi हमारे साथ आ गए हैं. Good morning, doctor. And let's introduce our doctor. Dr. Sandeep Satsangi is MD Internal Medicine, DM Hepatology, consultant at Department of Hepatology and Liver Transplantation in Apollo Hospitals, Banerghatta Road, Bengaluru. He has more than 15 years of experience. His special interests are management of complex hepatobiliary disorders, liver cancer, and liver transplantations. He served as an assistant editor of Journal of Clinical and Experimental Hepatology. He's won several awards for publishing papers on acute and chronic liver diseases. He's actively involved in training the community level physicians in the field of hepatology. I welcome Dr. Sandeep Satsangi once again onto the show. Good morning, doctor. Welcome.
Good morning, Jhansi. Thanks for the warm introduction. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So the need of the hour, doctor, we all require you, and Apollo 24/7 has got you all here. Kavi, what happens is we have issues, we don't mind consulting a doctor. But if we have doubts, we don't know where we want to get the information from, and that's where you come in. So thank
Absolutely.
you for joining us.
It's a very pertinent point you made, that many people have doubts, but they have hesitation in asking, and they don't know what's the right platform to ask. So I think thanks to Apollo 24/7 team, thanks to the organizers for conducting such an event wherein people can come out, just ask all their doubts, with holding a cup of coffee at their homes and just asking the question.
Wonderful, doctor. So as I start, you must be knowing that people can ask questions. Any questions that they have for Dr. Satsangi, you can type the questions. YouTube chat box में आपके questions type कीजिए, and I'll take up the questions with doctor. And doctor, let me start with something called which is fatty liver. दिखता नहीं है. The fatty liver is not seen. How harmful is this? And I heard that most of us have fatty liver, which is silent. How much one should be aware of this?
Absolutely, Jhansi. So I think a very important topic, fatty liver, जो आज के topic में, आज के discussion में हमारी काफी discussion होगी इसके ऊपर. So I think other than this COVID pandemic, the other pandemic which is actually hitting us is what we are seeing is fatty liver and what we call as metabolic syndrome pandemic. इसमें basically what happens is that there are a lot of changes which happen in your body. I'm going to talk mainly on fatty liver. इसमें होता ये है that inside your liver, a lot of fat goes and accumulates inside the liver. Now, it is a very common notion among people these days कि सर मेरे दोस्त को भी है, मुझे भी है, सबको फैटी लिवर है, ये तो नॉर्मल है, चलता है. But I think this concept is a very wrong concept. The reason is because if we take the statistics into picture, I'm not going to make it complicated, लेकिन अगर हम any 100 लोगों को लेंगे इंडिया में और उनका random screening करेंगे, so out of those 100 people, in approximately 35 to 40% of people, we are going to find that they have fat in the liver in significant amounts.
That is alarming.
Yeah, that's a very alarming number. This is in contrast with the European countries. In Europe, the data says that it's only about 25%, but in India, it is approximately 35 to 40%. Now, the problem happens in not all the 40% of people. So for example, in 100, if 40 have fatty liver, 20% of these patients, approximately 6 to 8 patients, are actually going to have damage. So the fat in the liver is not going to sit innocently, but it is going to damage the liver around it. And it is these patients who are at risk for progressive liver damage, और वो liver hard होके उसको हम cirrhosis बोलते हैं. So that is a chunk of patients. So that is where we are worried about. So that's a very important problem.
Okay, so let's understand that if it is common, that is not meant to be avoided or to be ignored. Just because a lot of people have, हमको भी है करके आराम से मत बैठो. That is the point. And point number 2, when such a large number of group of population is diagnosed with fatty liver, is there something to do with our lifestyles, or is it something hereditary? What is it?
So the answer to your question is actually both. So there are a lot of hereditary reasons as well, but let me make it very clear to you that that is not the only reason. So again, a very important point कि मेरे पास patients आते हैं और बोलते हैं कि सर हम मोटे हैं, but हमारे खानदान में सब मोटे हैं तो ये चलता है. So that's not right. See, what happens is you have hereditary factors जहाँ पे आपका liver में जो fat है that can cause swelling, but that doesn't mean that is the only factor. Even if you have hereditary predisposition to develop a severe liver disease, अगर आपका lifestyle अच्छा है, in that you can mitigate lot of those risk factors. So for example, अब risk factors का मतलब क्या होता है? For example, अगर आपको diabetes है और आपका diabetes अच्छे से control में नहीं है, if you don't have a regular active, you don't walk more than 45 minutes in a day. So wherein your lifestyle is basically sedentary. आपका work profile ऐसा है कि आप sedentary हैं and you're not able to walk. Third thing is अगर आपके blood के cholesterol levels ऊपर नीचे हैं. So even because of those reasons, what happens is that lot of problems happen in the liver, and that causes fatty liver, and that causes swelling in the liver, and that can cause liver damage.
All right. So if I've heard you correctly, 45 minutes every day exercise or walk bola hai, doctor. Most of us try and see that we will get onto a fitness routine, which we might not. But how important is it to be active, and our food habits, the kind of food that is available to us, the processed junk that is available, and the lack of time, the need of our is calling for both of them. How do we balance this?
Absolutely. So this is a very fine balance. So again, if you're going to have patients, they have a very common misconception कि sir हम ज़्यादा खाते ही नहीं हैं, हम 2 रोटी खाते हैं, but still we are putting on weight. So that doesn't happen. See, you can put on weight only if you have a imbalance. या तो आपका calorie intake ज़्यादा है, या तो आप जितना खर्च कर रहे हैं, that means how much you're spending is actually less. So either your intake is more or your output is less. And in India, I'll tell you, in majority, it is the output. The output is actually less. So people actually don't consume that much, but if they consume wrong food items. That is, as you mentioned, processed food, high calorie intake food. Again, a misconception कि अगर हमको fatty liver है, तो खाली fatty items हमको कम करना है. That is completely wrong. Even calorie items, just any food items which contain calories, like just lot of rice or having sugar, having sweets, even these items are going to increase your calorie intake. और अगर आपने वो calorie output में नहीं convert किया, for example, if you're not able to push out those calories in terms of exercise or brisk walking, then those calories are going to get converted into fat in your body, and it's going to get stored. And if unfortunately liver is the organ जो उसको store कर रहा है, then you are at risk for fatty liver and fatty liver related disease.
Doctor, from the festival season, that is Diwali to Sankranti, I have been on a binge trip. So thank you. This is a call for me.
Absolutely.
All right. So understanding that fatty liver might progress to a certain extent of liver damage and to cirrhosis or some other issues. How dangerous are these, and how do we understand the signs of liver damage?
Absolutely. देखिए होता यह है कि again, so I want to clearly tell about certain misconceptions people have. So अगर उन्होंने आजकल routine health checkup कराया and in that they are diagnosed with fatty liver, वो लोग क्या करते हैं कि people just see their LFT report and laboratory values से compare करके they just see that हमारा LFT normal है. That means हमारा fat हमारे liver को damage नहीं कर रहा है. So that's a misconception which comes into their mind, because of which they don't go to the doctor. So I will break one of the misconception that even if you have fatty liver and your LFT is normal, the liver damage can happen. So you just don't decide about the damage only based on the LFT report. So how do you know that you are at risk? So you have certain factors. So one, if you have been diagnosed as fatty liver and you have any of these risk factors which I'm going to mention, the first risk factor is if you have diabetes. If you have diabetes to any extent, भले वो controlled है, uncontrolled है, but if you have diabetes. Second, if you have hypertension. Number third point, if you have a sedentary lifestyle and you have obesity. Okay? So that is a number three risk factor. And number fourth risk factor is going to be your cholesterol levels. If your cholesterol levels are haywire, if you have any of these risk factors, the fat in your liver can cause damage. But imagine कीजिए कि आपके अल्ट्रासाउंड में फैट आया है लिवर में, you have none of these risk factors. आपका body mass index जो आप calculate करते हैं, it's a very easy way to calculate body mass index these days.
Correct.
अगर आपका BMI आता है 23 से कम, you don't have diabetes, you don't have hypertension, आपके lipid profile में cholesterol reports are all okay, and your LFT report is normal, it is okay. I can tell you with certain confidence that ये fat आपके liver को damage नहीं कर रहा है. But अगर इनमें से कोई भी risk factor आपको है, even if your LFT is normal, please don't take it lightly. You never know that when the fat will actually start getting, rebellious and will start damaging your liver. So आपको उसमें very actively आपके कोई भी जो आपके liver specialist से consult करके आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि आप वो risk group में आते हैं या नहीं आते हैं.
All right. So, Doctor, from fatty liver, let's talk about the other liver issues like hepatitis, जिसमें काफी तरह होते हैं. A lot of types of hepatitis is what I understand.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us how hepatitis is damaging to liver?
See, the most important point is what is hepatitis. So hepatitis in basic wording means that you have swelling in the liver. So you have a swelled up liver, जिसमें बोलते हैं liver में सोजिश हो रही है. So what are the reasons for it? The most important reason is going to be alcohol. So people who consume excessive amount of alcohol, we are going to touch base upon what is excessive and what is not excessive, but people who consume excessive amount of alcohol, the liver can get swelled up. That is alcoholic hepatitis. दूसरा होता है जो हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे, that is fatty liver. When fat goes into your liver and starts triggering a swelling around it, that is called as fatty liver related hepatitis. Then third, you have something called as a viral hepatitis, in which what happens is there are certain types of viruses like hepatitis B virus, hepatitis C virus. They go into the liver, they home the liver, and they would start damaging the liver. And these patients can also land up with cirrhosis. Then you have other various causes like drugs, just taking some medicines, over-the-counter medications without actual prescription, which again is in trend these days, that they go to the medical shop or koi dawai humne le li aise. So you don't know how your liver health is to begin with, and you take certain medicines. The drugs can cause hepatitis, so that is called as drug-induced hepatitis. So these are in brief,
as simple as a paracetamol, which we think is a safe drug. अगर overuse होता है, उस पे लिखा भी रहता है. We all tend to misuse them.
People don't see that और उसको overdose कर लेते हैं. Absolutely.
So now that we have understanding that hepatitis is varied, we also have different types of vaccines for hepatitis. So is it only for one type or viral hepatitis?
Yeah. So basically, the vaccine is basically against the infectious organism. जैसे कि अभी COVID में vaccine बन रहा है. वैसे ही for hepatitis, you have hepatitis के लिए vaccine आपको hepatitis A virus के लिए available है, hepatitis B virus के लिए available है. So in this, if you take the vaccine, you are going to be immune. तो आपको ना hepatitis A virus आएगा, ना आपको hepatitis B virus आएगा. So among this viral hepatitis, the only thing I think we can know at this point of time is ये जो 4 hepatitis virus होते हैं, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C और hepatitis E. ये 4 में से हमको 2 पॉइंट मैं आपको क्लियर कर देता हूँ कि hepatitis A और E, they can cause acute liver damage. Acute का मतलब क्या होता है कि वो आते हैं, liver में damage करते हैं, and then they go off. You know, either you recover completely or you can land up with certain complications, but they don't cause cirrhosis. So hepatitis A and hepatitis E will cause acute damage. Sudden they cause damage and they go off. But hepatitis B and hepatitis C are much more sinister. They don't leave the body that easily. They're going to come, they're going to home the liver, and they're going to cause damage into the liver. So in these two conditions, hepatitis A and B, you can give vaccine to prevent them.
Okay, that's interesting, doctor. Doctor, I would want to jump into the question and answers because we're already buzzing with a lot of questions. And topmost question, which was also on my list, but a lot of people are asking the same question over and over again. You must be guessing it. It is about alcohol. So alcohol or kitna alcohol hum pee sakte hai? The first question that I saw was how much alcohol is permitted for healthy liver?
So yeah, so this is a very, very interesting question. You know, being a liver specialist, I often get asked that, sir, hum kitna le sakte hain alcohol aur hamara liver damage nahi hoga. So that's a very common question posted to me. So there's no simple answer to it, but I'll try to simplify it to you so that we know how much is okay and how much is not okay. So in simple words, it is said that 20 grams per day of alcohol for either a male or a female, इसको अगर exceed करते हैं, then that is damaging. Now, what do I mean by 20 grams? 20 grams sounds very theoretical. How do we convert it? So 60 ml of whiskey, the routine whiskey which people have, or 500 ml of beer or 200 ml of wine. I'll repeat myself, 60 ml of whiskey, 500 ml of beer or 200 ml of wine. This would constitute approximately 20 grams of alcohol. So अगर आप ये quantity एक दिन
So
में
I
लेते
would like
Yeah.
with a नीचे ticker और नीचे statute के साथ हम लोग ये बोल रहे हैं, we are not endorsing that you should.
Absolutely. So this is the important point जो मैं next बोलने वाला था कि data में दिखाया गया है कि people who consume less than this, it doesn't significantly impact the liver. But here comes a big rider. In most of the people, this is not the only risk factor. जैसे कि alcohol is not the only risk factor we have. Most of the people have other risk factors like obesity and the fatty liver के risk factors जो हमने discuss किए. So when you have two risk factors coming up, then even this much amount of alcohol can actually cause significant liver damage, which is the reason why we tell people that never consume alcohol more than 2 days in a week, and it should never exceed 15 to 20 grams per week. So this is an important point because we forget about the added risk factors which we have. So अगर वो भूल जाते हैं, वो इक्वेशन से निकाल देते हैं, so क्या हो जाता है कि people consume this much amount of alcohol and they land up damaging their liver.
Right. So I think that was a very, very clear guideline. ये तो everybody needs to understand. अगर पीते हैं तो कैसे पीते हैं, वो भी एक आर्ट की तरह पीना है.
Yes.
The next question is Shweta's question. What needs to be done for fatty liver with hepatitis B positive?
Okay. So again, Shweta, actually, you were bang on the thing which I was trying to point out, that you have, if you are talking about, these are two risk factors. So जहाँ पे हमारे पास alcohol और fatty liver बोल रहा था, यहाँ पे you were pointing on fatty liver and hepatitis B. So here you have not one but two risk factors wherein the liver can get affected. Now, having said that can't this be managed? No, this can be managed very nicely and very properly, and the liver can easily be saved. But the treatment has to be directed not for one thing, but to two things. So to give an example, we had a patient of hepatitis B. So hepatitis B was well under control, but this patient had a very, very poor lifestyle. He was actually putting on weight. He was having diabetes. So his liver functions were never normal. He was always questioning, I'm taking the medicine for hepatitis B. Why is my liver function not getting normal? So he was somewhere, in a state wherein I'm taking hepatitis B, so nothing can happen to my liver, but his liver disease was progressing. So that is because the liver disease was being driven not by hepatitis B, but by fatty liver. So it is very important that if you have two diseases, your hepatologist is going to find out which is the primary disease which is causing the liver damage to progress and treat that particular problem with lot of clarity in his mind. So you need treatment not for one, but for both the diseases. But to answer your question, when you have two risk factors, the disease progression is faster when compared to having a single disease.
Okay, so hepatology is something where it is a super specialty.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people in India where they don't have a direct access to a liver disease specialist. So they can consult you. Are you available on Apollo 24/7 as well, doctor? And
absolutely, Shansi. So I think this is a very important and pertinent point. Till 2019, I hardly used to do any video consultations due to lack of time. What COVID has actually taught us, and I think is a positive side, is that we have gotten patients coming in from such remote areas. Accessibility has improved so nicely to them because of this app, that now people from all remote areas actually, upload their reports and take the opinion. Let it be a hepatologist or a cardiologist, you have access to all the experts in which they can clear, are we at risk or are we not at risk? So yes, to answer your question, if your local physician does suggest that there is some hint of liver disease going on, you should actually consult a liver specialist to ensure that you're on the right path of treatment and that your liver disease is not progressing.
All right. So as I'm asking you this question, I can see that Lalita has asked, there'd be symptoms that one has liver disease. So what are the symptoms that I will notice if my liver is not functioning right? So what again one has to understand, and then when does one consult a hepatologist?
So again, a very good question. See, this is where we face a lot of challenge. A liver is an organ which tolerates a lot. It tolerates a hell lot of things. So it is not going to give you symptoms in the early stage. Hota kya hai that in the early stage, the liver is going to tolerate and you're not going to have any major symptoms. So what are the minor symptoms you're going to have? It might be as basic as just fatigue, weakness, upper abdominal pain, bloating sensation. Few people have constipation. So these happen in early stages. And when the disease progresses a little bit, then you have symptoms like jaundice, that is the white part of your eyes turn yellow, your urine turns yellow, you can have swelling of your feet, you can have swelling of your abdomen, you can have itching over the skin. So these are all the advanced stage diseases, advanced stage symptoms. So what happens is in the early stage, the symptoms are so non-specific that many people don't take it seriously. So that is where the importance comes, that if you have any of these risk factors, for example, if you know that you have fatty liver and you are developing any of these early symptoms, you should not take it lightly. For example, if you have hepatitis B and you know that you have hepatitis B, and if you're developing any of these symptoms, please don't take it lightly. So having any of these early symptoms and getting a diagnosis and prompt treatment in the early stage will make a lot of difference.
Fantastic. That is a great advice to watch out for the symptoms and what signs your body is giving out.
Yeah. Yes.
Next question is from Mr. Shantaram. He says, what is the treatment that you suggest for elevated liver enzymes?
Yeah. So Mr. Shantaram, basically what elevated liver enzymes basically means is hepatitis. That is when you have swelling in the liver, your liver enzymes are going to go up. So in the liver enzymes, there are two types of basic enzymes which most of the hepatologists would focus on. That is SGOT, SGPT. The other enzyme is called as ALP. Now, what happens is when you take your LFT reports, you'll see that SGOT, SGPT, which should usually be less than 40, will be elevated. It can be 50, it can be 70, it can be 80. Now it's an art basically to analyze an LFT properly, just based on seeing how the SGOT, SGPT ratios are. There are a lot of diseases.
Okay. Doctor, your network, I suppose, is an issue, which is an interesting topic. We'll see if doctor can join us back. But I see a lot of questions regarding these liver enzymes. While doctor comes back, I will accumulate all your questions. Mr. Manan Akhtar, you also have asked fatty liver grade 2, SGPT up and down, jo 90 high and 90 low hai. So we will take all of these liver enzyme questions all together once doctor comes back. So hepatitis B virus ke bare mein, Million Miles has asked a lot of questions which are, see, Magic Studio is again LFT ke bare mein pooch rahe, where GGPT, SGPT value ke bare mein pooch rahe. So as I'm waiting for the doctor to come back and rejoin us, let me give you a small tip of taking care of your liver. You have to eat well on time. Right meals at the right time will help your digestive. Liver is the major organ in your digestive health, and eat on time and try and give gap between your night meal and the next day morning's meal. देर से मत खाइए, liver पे ज़्यादा burden हो जाएगा. That's a small tip from my end. And संक्रांति के time है, from I suppose Diwali से लेकर दिवाली, उसके बाद क्रिसमस, उसके बाद न्यू ईयर, उसके बाद संक्रांति. Now the festival season has begun and we all start to binge eating in this festival season. So time to retract from our binge eating sessions. This is an episode of Call for Me, and I'm going to get back on healthy eating, taking care of myself and my liver. So as we are taking charge of our health, I would advise you to download Apollo 24/7 and upgrade to Circle Plan. मकर संक्रांति के लिए एक offer भी आ रहा है. I thought I'll share it towards the end, but as I'm waiting for the doctor, let me share the Makar Sankranti special offer on Circle membership to you all. As Makar, abhi bol दूं या बाद में बोलूं? I see doctor has come back. Wonderful.
I'm so sorry. I think I just lost the connection over there. Yeah,
technical issues are not with our within
hands.
Our hands.
Yeah.
So chill. So we you at enzymes.
Yeah. So I was just mentioning about that. You have a lot of diseases which can affect the liver, cause the hepatitis, and can cause the liver enzymes to go up. So basically, your hepatologist is going to find out that which among those causes you are suffering with. Now, again, the diseases which I actually mentioned as the cause of hepatitis, the fatty liver, alcohol, or viral hepatitis, drug-induced hepatitis. So these are the common reasons that why the liver enzymes are getting elevated. And based on the degree of elevation and based on the etiology, that is the reason why the liver enzymes are getting elevated, there are a lot of treatment options which are existing and we can treat that. Certain rarer conditions, which I think, because you pointed out, I can mention, is called as autoimmune hepatitis. In autoimmune hepatitis, what happens is your body will produce certain chemicals which will go into the liver and cause swelling and can cause the liver enzymes to go up. Again, this disease, if not picked up early, can cause scarring and cirrhosis of liver. So a lot of treatment exists for all these things. The only thing is early diagnosis, prompt diagnosis, and good treatment is very important.
Okay. Doctor, next question immediately was I would want to take up is again on SGPT or GGPT values. Yes, Manan Akhtar Ansari is asking, sir, kindly suggest me fatty liver grade 2 and SGPT up and down hota hai unka. Highest is 90 and 60 is the low. And what does he have to do?
Absolutely. So यहाँ पे अगर हम जैसे कि again if you're focusing on the concept of fatty liver, तो fatty liver में usually what happens is the SGOT SGPT enzyme, as was pointed out, usually हमारा 2 times upper limit of normal में fluctuate करता है. That is, if my upper limit of normal is 40, usually it goes up till the range of 80, 90, 100. It never goes about 200, 230 because those diseases are something else. So fatty liver में होता क्या है that enzymes go up till this level, and the problematic thing is that it will not always remain like that. So for example, if you have fatty liver and if the fat is damaging the liver, in January, if you test it, maybe your enzymes are going to be 80. And if you test it in April, maybe it is going to be less than 40. So if you consider that April report as normal, you might actually miss the diagnosis because this yo-yo phenomenon of fluctuation wherein the fat is damaging the liver and keeping quiet, and then damaging the liver and keeping quiet can go on. So you have, whenever you notice even one report that your enzymes are going up, and in the present case, the enzyme has gone up till the range of 90, the doctor has to find out that if the fat in this patient is actually causing the swelling, and in most likelihood, it actually will be causing the swelling. And this we call as NASH, that is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Matlab, the fat is actually causing a very severe swelling in the liver. तो इसके लिए there are a lot of drug therapies which are there. Many drugs have now come up, but which drug suits you the best? आपके phenotype के लिए कौन सा drug best है आपके लिए? That your specialist is going to decide for you. But I can tell you, you can be rest assured that with good lifestyle and with good medical treatment, this liver enzyme can well be brought below 40.
Wonderful, doctor. Well, that is very, very positive. Thank you. And next question is Nitish's question. Is liver hemangioma, have I spelled it right? Serious issue?
Yeah. So see, liver hemangioma, absolutely. Please, Nitish, be free. This is not at all a problem. Liver hemangiomas are never going to cause a problem. The point is about diagnosing a liver hemangioma. What happens is many of the times on an ultrasound, when a person gets a routine health checkup done for whatever reason, the radiologist, the ultrasound specialist would pick up a lesion, एक छोटा सा जैसे कि गांठी in the liver, and based on certain parameters would label it as hemangioma. But many of the times what happens is you have to do another imaging like a CT scan or an MRI along with certain blood tests to be actually 100% certain that this is a hemangioma. So if you have seen the report of an ultrasound stating hemangioma, what I would suggest you is please seek a liver specialist's opinion. Let him confirm that you're suffering from hemangioma. It actually is hemangioma, then please be free about it. This is not going to cause any trouble. This doesn't turn into malignancy in future. This doesn't become cancerous in future. So you can be well assured and rest assured that this is not going to create a problem for you.
All right. Next is Sri Lasya Naravula's question. What might be etiology of CLD in females, chronic liver disease?
Yeah.
All right. I think we have the technical snag at doctor's end again. So hepatitis B virus ke baare mein we will talk, and chronic liver disease kya hota hai we will talk. Somebody is asking about bilirubin, Royal Bengal hepatitis B vaccine उन्होंने लिया है first and second dose, but refrain from taking the third dose. So that is an important question. I will definitely take this question, Mr. Royal Bengal. Okay. Jibitesh Pal ji, आपका question देख रही हूँ मैं. Please advise once in a week alcohol consumption and its impact on liver. हमने बात किया है इसके बारे में, but if you still want anything more in specific, please type down and ask one more specific question. I would definitely take your question up. So, all right. So there is, we're getting Dr. shortly back onto the show, and here he is. He's
okay. Yeah, sorry. So again, to take up that interesting question, what is the cause of CLD? So CLD basically means chronic liver disease. So chronic liver disease, what does it mean? That you have a disease which is going on since a long time. Vis-a-vis what is an acute liver disease? Acute आता है, problem करता है, फिर ठीक हो जाता है, चला जाता है. So chronic liver disease in females, you have a lot of reasons, a lot of etiologies, what we call as, but a very important. So the one which we discussed, like fatty liver, and we spoke about viral hepatitis, alcohol-related hepatitis. Females are not immune to this. So obviously you have to rule out these things in a female. After that, a very important aspect is going to be autoimmune. So it's an unfortunate truth that females suffer from more autoimmune problems. Now, autoimmune, so the thyroid problems, which you might have heard that in every family, people have some thyroid issues.
Yes.
That also is a type of autoimmune problem. So if the autoimmune problem is limiting itself to thyroid, that is good. But if it extends and involves the liver, it is called as autoimmune hepatitis. So autoimmune hepatitis is one of a very important reason of CLD, that is chronic liver disease in females. Again, if this is picked up in an early stage, more than 98% of patients can be salvaged and they don't land up in cirrhosis. They don't require liver transplant. But problem happens that many of the times this is missed. If you don't diagnose it properly, if you don't diagnose it in the early stage, then this disease will be missed. People will be taking just over-the-counter medications. The liver enzymes will keep on remaining elevated. The liver will keep on getting damaged, and they'll end up with cirrhosis and liver failure in future.
All right. Doctor, next question is about a Magic Studio ka hai. LFT last many years has very high GGTP value. The doctors who are treating him haven't said on it so far. So do I presume it as a matter of significant concern? However, what should I do to make it within the limits?
Absolutely. So see, GGT is one enzyme which we haven't spoken about. It's an interesting point that you have gotten it. GGT basically means gamma glutamyl transferase. Now, what does this enzyme basically tell you? Again, this in the liver, you have two types of systems. One is a liver tissue, one is a bile duct, that is biliary issue, jahan se hamara pith form hota hai. So what happens is whenever you have any problem in the bile system, that's where the GGT enzyme will start going up. Having said that, other than that, there are many other conditions wherein the GGT goes up. One of the common reason is alcohol. Now, I'm sure that because you're asking this question, I'm sure that your doctors have ruled out and you have ruled out alcohol as a significant problem for rise of GGT. Other than alcohol, there are several other conditions, one of which is drugs, the second common cause. Other than that, again, there are several possibilities, but they require certain specialized blood tests and imaging. That is a good quality CT or an MRI scanning to actually pick up what is causing the GGT to go up. And this problem also requires a very meticulous diagnosis and treatment, because if this is missed, again, even isolated rise in GGT can lead on to the development of chronic liver disease. So I think you should take this problem very seriously and consult a good hepatologist so that he can find out what is causing the GGT to go up.
Yes. So Magic Studio, you may want to consult Dr. Sandeep Satyangi. He's available on Apollo 24/7 and you can book his appointment online. All right. Next question, doctor, is million miles to go. He actually has had this hepatitis B virus. So can that be removed forever, permanently, Jayega?
Absolutely. Very interesting question again. See, hepatitis B virus, I was just discussing about it, that it comes, hepatitis B and C, they come, they home your liver. Liver ko apna ghar samajh lete hain and they sit over there. And many of the times what happens is they don't cause damage to the liver. Isko hum bolte hain inactive carrier. Matlab wo virus mere liver mein baitha hua hai, but liver ko damage nahi kar raha hai. Now, this is where the biggest mistake happens from patients. मेरे पास काफी सारे पेशेंट्स ऐसे आते हैं और बोलते हैं कि सर 10 years back we were diagnosed with hepatitis B. Our doctor told us that time that the virus is inactive and we don't require treatment. And then they forget about the disease. They forget about a key point, that the virus can anytime become active. So you require surveillance. Yearly, you need to undergo a checkup to find out that the virus is still inactive or whether it is becoming active. Now, many of the times that is missed. And again, here comes the problem that the liver, the initial stages the symptoms are very minuscule and people forget it. And when they actually come 10 years later, they will have cirrhosis, they will have liver cancers, and that is where the problem comes up. Now, coming to the treatment aspect of it, the currently available drugs, what we have, the oral tablets which we have, they don't completely, unfortunately, remove the virus from the liver. But what can they do? They can keep the liver, the virus, under strict control so that it does not cause any damage to the liver. It does not progress to CLD, nor can it cause liver cancer. And that is, I think, the main motto, कि liver खराब नहीं होना चाहिए, liver में cancer नहीं होना चाहिए. That is the most important fact. Now, coming to the specific question, कि क्या हमारे पास ऐसे कोई दवाइयाँ हैं जो liver के virus को completely निकाल सकते हैं? The answer to that is yes. We do have certain injectable form of therapy. The problem of that therapy is that it has to be taken for a prolonged period of time of approximately 1 to 1.5 years. And it is an injection-based therapy. and it has to be taken weekly one time. The dose and everything has to be decided, and whether you're a suitable candidate for that therapy or not has to be decided by your hepatologist. So with that therapy, there's approximately 30% chance that the virus can become completely negative. Having said that, there are many other new oral drugs which are in studies right now and which most likely should be available in the next 4 to 5 years, which can completely kill the virus and can throw it out. So we are waiting for many of those novel molecules, which I think should be available in the near future.
Okay, done. Thank you so much for that detailed answer. And I appreciate your concern to give out good information. Thanks, Doctor. Doctor, next question is from Mr. Sunil Kumar Patil. इनका question ये है, the total इनका bilirubin का total है 1.20. How to bring it to normal?
Okay. See, sir, bilirubin of 1.2, I don't think you should worry about it. What happens is, ये क्या देखते हैं कि लैब के वैल्यूज देखते हैं. So many of the labs will give a different standard values. So up till 1.2, 1.4 is considered as normal. So don't worry about it. But what I would suggest you is please look at other components. Now, I'm sure you're not trained enough to actually look at other components, but there's something called as direct bilirubin. And again, जैसे कि हम enzymes के बारे में discuss कर रहे थे, SGOT, SGPT, GGT. अगर आपका डायरेक्ट बिलिरुबिन फ्रैक्शन नॉर्मल है, SGOT, SGPT, GGT नॉर्मल है, और अगर आपके डॉक्टर ने आपका अल्ट्रासाउंड स्कैन करके बोला लिवर नॉर्मल है, 1.2, प्लीज डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, बी एट पीस, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम.
All right, that's also positive again. As you had left us for a brief moment, I was reading an interesting question from Royal Bengal. He received the hepatitis B vaccine. First and second dose उन्होंने लिया है, but he could not take the third dose in March 2020 because it was lockdown and he could not access it. Can it be taken now? That is February to April के बीच में अभी ले सकते हैं?
Okay, so see what happens is that hepatitis, अब जैसे कोविड की वैक्सीन की बात हम करते हैं तो हमको दो डोज लेना कंपलसरी है. Similarly, for hepatitis B vaccine, you say that you need to take 3 doses. Now, what is the reason behind it? That after 2 doses, you're not going to get a majority of patients who are going to get a protective antibody, protective protection. But many of the patients are lucky enough to get a protection even with 2 doses. So what I would suggest you is that there's a blood test which checks your immune response. मतलब आपके body ने वैक्सीन को इम्यूनिटी डेवलप कर दिया है अगेंस्ट हेपेटाइटिस बी और नॉट, उसके लिए एक ब्लड टेस्ट आता है. अगर आप वो टेस्ट करते हैं और अगर वो टेस्ट का रिपोर्ट मोर देन 10 आता है, देन द 2 doses are going to be enough for you. बट अगर आपका रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आता है, अगर आपका रिस्पॉन्स 10 से कम है, देन अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई थिंक you have gone way beyond the deadline of 6 months, जहां पे हम तीसरा डोज देते हैं. You need to repeat the entire course, जो कि 0-1-6 होता है. मतलब 0 is the 0 dose, आज से 1 महीने बाद, आज से 6 महीने बाद, that is 0-1-6 dose that has to be taken again. But prior to taking that, I will suggest you that if you go to any decent lab and ask them to do a test to check for the immunity against hepatitis B virus, they'll do a test, and if the value is less than 10, that's when you'll have to take the vaccine again.
That is very, very informative, doctor. Thank you so much. Because we all think that vaccine एक बार लग गया तो बस हो
Then you
जाए.
have protection. Yeah.
You have
That's absolutely a wrong concept. You need to confirm it कि जो आपने वैक्सीन लिया है वो आपके बॉडी में प्रोटेक्शन कर पाया है या नहीं कर पाया है.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for asking that question, Mr. Royal Bengal, whatever your name is. All right. Next question is Jivitesh Pal ji का, जो हमने already बात कर चुके हैं, but I would also want to take another question similar to this, which is about alcohol. Mr. Jivitesh Pal asks, please advise once in a week alcohol consumption and its impact of liver. आपने already बोल दिया है, but I also, while I was scrolling down, I saw somebody asking about alcohol and somebody who's on ART. ART treatment जो होता है उनका और alcohol. I'm not able to find that, but please continue answering.
Got it. See, again, so very interesting. Both the questions are very interesting. The first question wherein alcohol once a week. Again, इसमें बहुत सारे प्लस और माइनसेस हो सकते हैं. जैसे कि अगर मैंने बोला कि अल्कोहल हाँ हफ्ते में एक बार ले सकते हैं, पीपल विल ओनली लिसन टू दैट पॉइंट, और जो दूसरा पॉइंट है वो फोकस नहीं करेंगे कि कितना क्वांटिटी में यू कैन टेक इट. देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज अ बिंज ड्रिंकिंग. बिंज ड्रिंकिंग का मतलब क्या होता है कि आप हफ्ते में एक ही बार लेते हैं, बट यू टेक अ सिग्निफिकेंट अमाउंट, समथिंग लाइक 180 ml of whiskey or 240 ml of whiskey. Now that absolutely is not safe, because what happens is even binge drinking can not only cause problems in the liver, but it can cause problems in the pancreas. It can cause severe swelling in the pancreas as well. So 1 time per week alcohol, if you're limiting it to less than 20 grams, per day, that is on that particular weekend, that is okay. But if you are exceeding that, that means if you are exceeding like 120 ml of whiskey, 180 ml of whiskey, then you are at a risk of binge drinking related alcohol related problems, and that can be very severe also. So once a week, fine enough, but please limit it to less than 20 grams per day. Coming to the second question about alcohol and ART. Ideally, ART is antiretroviral therapy. Ideally, what happens is when you're taking ART, you are supposed to avoid alcohol. Now, what is the reason behind it? Because ART mein jo drugs hote hain, that actually go via the liver, and already the liver is under a lot of stress because of these drugs. So it is trying to metabolize those drugs and giving you the benefits of the ART drugs. अब अगर इस सिचुएशन में आप अल्कोहल लेते हैं, then what happens? Again, if it's a very small quantity, किसी का birthday party है, you're just taking 100 ml of wine, that's okay. But if you're taking it in any significant amounts, along with consumption of ART, that is going to cause interaction of drugs. That means what happens is the alcohol and the drugs might interact inside your body, and they're going to give you very uneasy symptoms. So ideally, when you're on ART, you have to tell no to alcohol.
That is a warning one has to listen to. Yes. Doctor, here's an interesting question. Ramesh R. पूछ रहे हैं, can urticaria on skin or itching be related to a liver problem? Sometimes I have skin itching before passing the stool sensation, and then he heads to passing the stool. So is this something related to liver?
Yes, absolutely. So see, what happens is when I was talking about the symptoms of liver disease, I spoke about itching. So itching is a quite often a missed entity, because what would happen if we have itching? We would go to a skin specialist. We would not even think of liver. So itching, yes, you have skin as the major reason from where आपको skin में कोई allergy हो गया, then you have itching. But many of the times what happens is the itching can also be connected to certain issues with the liver. अगर ये diseases early stage में diagnose हो जाते हैं, then that can be completely and permanently treated. तो अगर आपको skin में itching हो रही है, you are going to a skin specialist, and if he's doing examination of a skin और उन्होंने बोल दिया कि आपके skin में problem नहीं है, you don't have an allergic problem, then that is a very important point that you should consult a liver specialist to ensure that your liver is not a source for the skin itching problem.
Yeah, done. Something related to constipation and the liver. Here's a question about the two questions that I would take. Mr. Murthy is asking about, is malfunctioning of liver connected to constipation, and bloating and constipation and liver issues?
Absolutely. To answer both the questions, it is completely interlinked. See, the liver is a part of the gastrointestinal system. So whenever your liver is weak, liver is a main organ which is going to help you with your digestion of food. So when I was talking about the symptomatology of liver diseases, I was talking about the bloating sensation. Many people have constipation. So because the food is not digested properly, you're going to have constipation. So people who have fatty liver, people who have autoimmune related liver disease, all these people can also present with these type of very non-specific symptoms. Now, again, for constipation, how many of people would actually go see a liver specialist? People don't. And that's the reason in early stages, these things are missed. So that is the reason whenever you have any of these early signs, please meet a physician, get a routine checkup done. And if the physician hints at any issue going on in the liver, don't take it lightly at that point of time. Consult a hepatologist so that he can find out whether the liver is a source of those problems or not. Because if the liver problem is settling down, maybe those issues will also settle down completely.
Okay, so Vineet ka question bhi similar question tha, jo piles and fistula are related or connected to liver.
Okay. Yeah. So see, piles directly is not connected, but indirectly. See, piles is just a problem which happens because of constipation. When you strain excessively during passing stools, that can cause development of hemorrhoids. जो हम medical language में hemorrhoids बोलते हैं, that is basically in layman language called as piles. So piles can cause bleeding, piles can cause pain while passing stools. Directly, it is not connected to liver disease, but indirectly, yes. Because if a patient of liver disease, if a patient is having fatty liver, obesity, and he's having constipation, not able to pass stools, is having to strain at stools, then they develop piles. And if the piles bleed, then if a person is having liver disease, significant liver disease, the bleeding is also going to be more. So in this way, piles can be connected to liver disease. So I think you should take the problem of piles very, very seriously, because that can become very irritating and very difficult to sort of in the late stages.
All right. So, we tend to miss certain gastroenterological symptoms, which can be connected to as well, right? So Shrikant Raju's question is something very close to this. इनको gastrointestinal reflux disease है, GERD है, and he is not बिल्कुल भूख ही नहीं लग रहा है इनको. So
Okay.
it's connected to liver somewhere?
Yeah. So again, so see, GERD is basically what we call as a reflux disease. मतलब जो भी हमने खाया हुआ है, हमको लगता है कि वो ऊपर आ रहा है. We get खट्टी डकारे type of things. Basically, you get a burning sensation in your foot pipe region, in your chest region. So this is basically called as GERD. Now, majority of the times you have certain reasons of the foot pipe and the stomach why you have GERD. But again, if your digestion itself is not proper and your liver itself is not healthy and digesting the food items properly, even that can worsen the GERD. That can worsen your reflux and worsen your symptoms. So I would not say that GERD hai to liver mein definitely problem hai. No, not at all. But if you have GERD and associated with it, if you also have some liver issue, that can worsen the symptoms of GERD. So that is the reason that whenever a person is having GERD and they go to a specialist, they will actually not only do an endoscopy and a scan, but also would do certain blood tests to see how the liver functions are and how the other blood parameters are, just to find this out, that whether a patient of GERD is suffering only from GERD or something else along with it.
Okay, done. Thanks, doctor. And next question I was reading about was, yes, Mr. Krishna Ubag. Suffering from macrovesicular steatosis, please suggest treatment and diet. What
Yeah. So macrovascular steatosis is nothing but a very fancy medical way of saying that you have fat in liver. So macrovascular मतलब that fat के droplets होते हैं जो कि scanning में आपको radiologist को दिखाई देते हैं. So macrovesicular steatosis is nothing but fatty liver. So fatty
So lot
liver
of people have been asking fatty liver diet क्या हो सकता है?
Absolutely. So see, जहां पर फैटी लिवर आ जाता है, जहां पे मैंने आपको वो कॉन्सेप्ट बताया है कि फैटी लिवर में आइसोलेटेड फैट रेस्ट्रिक्शन, दिस इज अ कंप्लीट मिथ. मतलब हमने खाली ये ऑयल के आइटम्स कम कर लिए, सो इज इट इनफ? दैट इज अ कंप्लीटली रॉन्ग कॉन्सेप्ट. आई थिंक दैट शुड बी अ टेक होम पॉइंट कि यू हैव टू डू अ कैलोरी रेस्ट्रिक्शन. मतलब कोई भी फूड आइटम्स में जिसमें कैलोरी ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व है. For example, even rice हो सकता है. मतलब I might not be a person who takes lot of oil, but I am a person who is completely on a white rice based diet. मैं lunch में भी वही खाता हूँ, मैं dinner में भी वही खाता हूँ. Then that causes lot of calorie intake. So anything which is more in calories can cause fat to go inside the liver. So calorie restriction in the terms of sugar restriction, sweet restriction and rice restriction for Indians in specific is an important aspect in diet. Second thing is अगर जो oil हम use करते हैं, oil में काफी types होते हैं. So there is something called as a refined oil. There is something called as a cold pressed oil. So one more take home point which I can give you is you can use cold pressed oils over refined oils because they are better digestible and are better for patients with fat liver. Cold pressed oils over refined oils.
Then wonderful, doctor. Thank you so much for that tip. And Mrityunjay Khand or a lot of other people are also asking about elevated SGT and SGOT levels. I think you've touched answer to that. Here's an interesting question. Mayank Madhurji hai, inka question hai. He is 107 kgs. He started to reduce weight, but would that be enough to? He's diagnosed with fatty liver stage 3. Will losing weight be enough?
Okay, so see, the treatment of fatty liver would not only be lifestyle, but would also be a lot of drugs, would also be a lot of medicines. But again, based on how your liver enzymes are rising, based on how your cholesterol levels are, your doctor is going to decide which medicines have to be given and what dose it has to be given. That is point number one. The second thing is how much weight loss should I have? That's always a big question. कि ठीक है, मैं 100 kgs का हूँ, मुझे lose कितना करना है? So 10% of weight loss, if you're able to get it in 1 year, that is very good. That means if I'm 100 kgs, I need to lose at least 10 kgs over a period of 1 to 2 years. अगर मैं per month 1 kg भी lose करता हूँ, and if I lose 10 kgs over 1 year, that is going to make a lot of difference. So if you're 107 kgs, even by the end of 2021, you can become 98 or 97 kgs. That's going to make a lot of difference to your fatty liver. Even if your goal might be 70 kgs, आप आराम से time लीजिए. लेकिन 10% अगर first year में आप lose कर भी लेते हैं, आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा रहेगा आपके liver के लिए.
Fantastic, doctor. That is really, really informative. And I have so many questions more for you, which are similar genres, which you have touched. Many more questions that I can't take because we are running short of time now. Thank you so much for joining us today. But before you leave, I would want you to give us the top tips for taking care of a liver.
Sure, Jhansi. See, the most important aspect which we should understand is don't take your liver lightly. The liver disease have lot of various symptoms. What happens is in the initial stages, they are very not significant enough. For example, bloating of abdomen, acidity, constipation. In the early stages, if you don't take it seriously, then what happens is it goes to the second stage. That is, you're going to have jaundice, you're going to have skin itching, you're going to have swelling of the legs, you're going to have swelling of the abdomen. So in the early stages, if you diagnose your liver disease, the treatment is going to have much more farther, greater impact than in the late stage. Second, what are the common conditions which we should all be aware about is that you have alcohol-related liver damage, you have fatty liver-related liver damage, you have viral hepatitis-related liver damage, and you have drug-related liver damage. And a very important point is that in no one person you're going to have only one risk factor. In majority, you're going to have a combination of risk factors. Somebody has hepatitis B, somebody also has fatty liver. So if you forget about one disease and only treat one disease, then your liver disease is going to progress. So whenever at a slightest doubt that your liver is inflamed, your liver is having some swelling, your local physician is telling you that there is some problem in the LFT, there is a problem in the scan, please don't take it lightly. Please see a liver specialist. Now you have a lot of facilities that in your smartphone, you can just download an app and see an expert. You don't actually have to do a real-time interview with the doctor. You can just do a video consultation, and he can at least tell you that whether you need a in-house checkup in the hospital or whether a video interview is going to be enough or not. So please make use of that and don't take your liver health lightly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sandeep Satsangi. You have a great amount of patience of giving out information. And that was really, really interesting. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please take care of yourself. अपने हाथ में अपना liver health है. And now, आपके हाथ में मेरे quiz के answers है. Type कीजिए answers in the chat box. The questions are going to come forward. I'm going to ask you 3 questions today. And give me the answers in the chat box. I will announce the winners towards the end of the show. And winners, you have to, if I've taken your name as a winner, you have to mail your contact details to us at marketing@apollo247.com. The gift vouchers will be shared to you. So get ready. Question number 1 for this week's health quiz is, the liver is the largest solid organ inside the body. True or false? Question फिर से repeat कर रही हूँ, format change हुआ है question का. The liver is the largest solid organ inside the body. True or false? बस type कीजिए true or false. Let me see if somebody's come with the अभी answers नहीं आए हैं. Let me see if they come. Next question that I'm going to ask you is question number 2. Which is the organ that regenerates completely even if it is removed 70%? अरे वाह, कितने सारे answers मेरे question number 1 के आ गए हैं. True, false, true, false, true, false, पूरे आ रहे हैं. Okay, so next question, question number 2. I repeat this question number 2. Which is the organ that regenerates completely even if it is removed 70%? Are answers, yeah, fatafat. Aaj everybody is on full josh, huh? Easy questions hai kya? Anyway, last question coming up, question number 3. What is the introductory price of Circle membership's annual plan? Agar annual plan lete hai aap Circle membership mein, what is the introductory price? Do you know, or just go onto your Apollo 247 app and check what is the benefits and what are the prices there? Answers abhi nahi aaye hain. I'm waiting for the question number 3's answer. What is the introductory price of a Circle membership's annual plan? Annual plan introductory price hai. Don't give me the original thing. Introductory offer ek chal raha hai. Mr. Murthy, just check. All right, Santosh, Ravikanti, check what is the offer. Okay, okay. So what we do is I'll let you answer the question number 3. Meanwhile, anyway, हमने Circle membership की बात किया है, तो संक्रांति का एक ऑफर आपके लिए मैं लाई हूँ. So blessings are doubled this Makar Sankranti. You can get a free Circle membership worth ₹499 when you buy medicines worth ₹499. You've heard me right. You get free Circle membership if you buy medicines worth $499. Kal parso nahi, aaj. The offer is valid only for today. So please upgrade. If you've been waiting to upgrade to Circle, this is your opportunity. Spread the word, gift it to somebody. If you already a Circle membership, a Circle member, then you can gift it to somebody else as well. So that is it. And you must be knowing all the wonderful benefits that Apollo Circle membership gives you. The membership plan is created and designed to give the best of its value and care to the membership members. You can get an emergency doctor on call, cash back on medicines, discounts on consultations and diagnostics, and medicine deliveries are express say be better because they are done on a priority basis and they are free. So a lot of benefits on Circle. I'm a Circle member too, so you better upgrade it today. While upgrading, you can use this free Circle membership plan only for today. All right, so here are our winners. I got all three of them. Congratulations, winners. Abhinash Patnaik, Sushil Singh, and Shubha Nair. Congratulations. You are the winners. And you have to write to us at marketing@apollo247.com to claim your gifts and gift vouchers. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been really very insightful session. So while you take care of your liver, we take care of your gift coupons. You can use Apollo 247. You can get up to rupees 299 off on online consultation with Apollo doctors. And you can use this coupon medicine10 to get 10% off on pharmacy orders. Log on to Apollo 247 to use these coupons. And we shall see you next time in the Apollo 24/7 with more information, more power. Please take care of yourself and your health and your loved ones. Thank you so much for joining us. Your feedback matters. What do you want to learn from us? What do you want? Who do you want to see? And how can we better ourselves on this show? Please share your feedback with us on marketing@apollo247.com. Thank you so much for your time. See you soon.